Hello and welcome back. This is Candace from Candoodle, and I am super excited to be part of the Canadian Christmas video hop. I'm going to be making this set of cards using some products from Scrap and Stamp Canada, so let's get started. First up, I have this amazing stencil set from Concord and Ninth called Boughs Holly, and I am going to do some very clean and simple cards because I am super behind on my holiday card making. I made all of these cards in about less than half an hour, so hopefully this gives you some inspiration if you're also behind on your winter holiday card making. So these stencils are super easy to use. They have little etched guides on the side so you can line it up with your card. I actually am stenciling this right onto my card base, and I used a few different inks. One is Pinkfresh Studio Evergreen and the other two are Altenew in Grass Field and Velvet. And as you can see, my wreath was looking a little bit bare, and I realized this second stencil is actually meant to flip. You turn it 180 degrees, and then it fills in all of those extra spots, and you have this amazing wreath. So I wanted to do this in two colorways to give a little bit more inspiration and get an extra card out of it. So for my second version, I'm coming in with some blues, and I'm going to use some gray glitter paste at the end as well. So these ones are from Altenew and they are Sea Breeze and Ocean Waves. I just thought these are really pretty blue colors and they're a little bit different. As you can see, I'm coming in and adding some darker variation with a smaller ink blender just to kind of add some variation because one of the stencils is a bit larger and I think that that just adds some nice detail. So for my last stencil, which is the little berries, instead to match my blue, I'm coming in with some platinum shimmer paste from Cosmic Shimmer, and then I'm going to wash my stencils off really well. So for the next two cards, I'm going to use another stencil. This one is from Pinkfresh Studio and it's called Wintery Forest and it has a ton of stencils and you can mix and match these together. I am not going to use the snow covered one, which is the last stencil I showed. I'm only going to use all of the main stencils. So I started from the back with my absolute lightest color of blue. And for this, I actually only used two different ink colors. So I am being very light-handed, or I'm trying to be, as I'm coming down. So my first stencil, I was super light-handed, and my second one, a little heavier for each one. And then I think for the final two, I did use my slightly darker color, which is turquoise, and the first color was Sea Breeze. And I'm using this ergonomic blending brush, which is new to me, and I am loving it. I just get a really nice ink blend and it's much easier to do this kind of soft gradient look. So I thought this ended up super pretty and I wanted to do it in another color. So this one is more of a traditional kind of Christmas card color. I'm using the Evergreen ink from Pinkfresh Studio, and as you can see there, I am also doing all of my stenciling on my waffle flower media mat. I like to have this because I can kind of take some ink off on the side and use it almost as a palette. So I find it really good for doing ink blending, especially when I'm using my dye inks. And I find that I don't waste quite as much ink that way. You can see it gets a little bit stained, but that doesn't bother me too much. So I'm going to continue ink blending this card and then I'm going to come in with my sentiments afterwards. So before we continue, I just want to tell you a little bit more about the hop. I'm super excited to be part of this. It's the Canadian crafty YouTubers. We've come together and done some other hops, and today is holiday inspired. And we are super excited to be sponsored by Scrap and Stamp, who generously gave me a bunch of these amazing products. I absolutely love their store, and they are giving away $300 gift certificates to their online store to commenters along the hop. So the comment period opens today and it'll close on December 10th at midnight Eastern time. And all you have to do is comment along the hop for more chances to win. Of course, we appreciate a subscribe as well, and give the video a thumbs up. But happy hopping and happy holiday card inspiration and Christmas to those who celebrate. So thank you very much to Scrap and Stamp Canada for generously sponsoring this hop, and everybody in it is so wonderful. So I definitely encourage you to hop along. I'll have everybody linked below as well as the next stop. Okay, so as I've been chatting about the hop, I am been stamping my sentiments. So this is an amazing stamp set. I can't believe I didn't have till now. It is My Favorite Things hand lettered holiday greetings, and it has so many different classic greetings in a really nice kind of calligraphy font. So I decided to use the fa la 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 in my wreaths. I just thought that fit really nice, and I used some embossing powder. And then I am going to stamp on the tree ones with the Happy Holidays sentiment. So it's more like non-denominational. And again, I'm going to heat emboss those with gold and silver. I thought the gold looked really nice with the green and the silver with the blue. And as you can see, I didn't heat set things as I was going. When I am making a bunch of cards like this, I like to do all of my heat setting at once, mostly because my dogs and sister hate the sound of my heat gun. So I try to do it all at once. And so I don't have to heat my gun up multiple times. And I found the anti-static powder pouch was very, very helpful, especially when I was using a bunch of these glittery sort of powders. So now as you can see, I'm coming in and I'm just heat setting those. I was very careful not to apply too much heat to try not to warp my cards because I did this right on the card base. So that's just something you want to be mindful of. And I did bend them kind of back into shape afterwards. To finish off these cards, I'm of course going to add some glittery embellishments. I added some silver and gold ones and some red additional berries on one of the wreaths. And then there are the final cards. I hope this gives you some inspiration for some very quick but still very pretty Christmas or holiday cards. You'll have to let me know if you like them down below in the comments. As always, I appreciate the time that you spend here. Don't forget to check out the next stop on the hop, which is linked down below. And I will see you in another video. Bye!